they talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
Are we gonna see Canelo Crawford next?
We'll see. It's a possibility there, always. No, we'll see what happens.
Reports say that Terence Crawford has confirmed his fight with Canelo after meeting with Turkey Al-Sheikh. This brings the long-awaited dream of boxing fans one step closer to reality. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, two of the biggest names in boxing, have been rumored to fight for years, but problems always made it look like it was impossible. With the start of the new year, there is more hope for a fight that could become one of the most famous in boxing.
It's always is a chance there, right? We'll see, but always is a chance there, and we're here to make the best deals, and always a chance.
And I do have to ask you about Dmitry Bivol, because that's a rematch you've always talked about wanting. How do you see the rematch going with Bivol and Beterbiev?
I think it's gonna be another good fight. It's gonna be another good fight. Both fighters are good fighters, so I think both have a chance to win. Like the previous one was a really good fight.
So whatever is next, we look forward to it, my friend. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Fans are excited because they recently saw Canelo Alvarez hanging out with Turkey Al-Sheikh at the Ring Magazine Awards in London. Crawford has been challenging Alvarez for a long time, but the Mexican star has been reluctant, allegedly wanting a huge purse to agree to the fight. When the Riyadh season chief said he didn't think the match would happen, public emotions rose. Reports from recently, though, say that work is being made on this huge fight. When Knockout Alerts shared a picture of Canelo and Crawford with the words "Canelo versus Crawford" in the works for September in Las Vegas, boxing journalist Julianis added to the rumors. After beating Israel Madoff easily in Los Angeles, Crawford didn't think twice about moving up in weight and giving up his welterweight title. This decisive win added another impressive chapter.
What's up, fight fans? Some breaking news. This guy, Julianis, who's an ESPN Knockouts reporter, is reporting that the fight isn't only about to be announced, but the contracts are signed between none other than Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford. In Julianis' report, he claims that this fight has been signed, sealed, delivered, and it's going down this September in Las Vegas. We know Canelo was in London for the Ring Magazine Awards with Turkey Al-Sheikh, seemingly shaking hands as business partners. And just today, as a few hours ago, Bud Crawford landed in London and was seen with Turkey Al-Sheikh this September. It's official. What are your...
Big fights like this between a superstar and a pound-for-pound great are rare. Many fans won't believe it until the bell rings, but some are sure enough to make predictions. One fan said, "Bud's about to destroy Canelo. Both are great fighters, but Crawford's got this." Analysts expect a heated battle, but they note that Canelo, with his 66-fight experience, isn't an easy opponent. Another fan joked, "Canelo's going to be fighting Jake Paul and Conor McGregor after this." While some see this fight as a way to cement Canelo's reputation, others think he's regressed. One fan noted, "Canelo is avoiding Crawford, but the size difference is in his favor." Skeptics remain, saying, "I'll believe it when punches are thrown." Weight is also an issue. Crawford recently changed to 154 lbs, but is still 2 divisions below Canelo. Whether Canelo would cut weight or negotiate a catchweight remains unclear. Critics wonder if Crawford's speed and power will hold at a higher weight. His full-distance fight against Madoff raised questions about how extra weight might affect his ability. For nearly a year, these two pound-for-pound stars have seemed bound to clash. Crawford, with a perfect 41-0 record, aims to make history by moving 2 weight classes to face Canelo, who holds a record of 62 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. While Canelo has been reluctant to face Crawford, rumors say Turkey Al-Sheikh may have convinced him. Reports hint that a deal is in place for a
top 5 fighters right now in boxing. That's your top 5 right now in boxing, not your that top 5 in boxing right now. Right now.
Champions or just anybody?
Top 5 right
Anybody.
now.
Shakur #1, hands down. Tank, he up there. Canelo, Inoue, Tyson Fury.
Damn. That's now beforehand. Back in the day. Who top?
The highly expected Canelo fight may realistically happen later this year in Las Vegas. According to a tweet from Happy Punch, reports say that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have agreed to face off in Vegas. This speculation gained momentum after two striking images surfaced, showing both fighters in talks with Turki Al-Sheikh, the head of the Saudi General Entertainment Authority. Known for organizing high-profile sporting events, especially in boxing, Al-Sheikh's involvement has fans and analysts buzzing with excitement. The meeting seems to be a crucial step in advancing talks for what could become one of the most monumental fights in recent boxing history. While a formal announcement is still pending, the images and reports definitely suggest that discussions are well underway. If this fight comes to fruition, it would mark a historic clash between two pound-for-pound kings. Terence "Bud" Crawford, fresh from his dominant win over Errol Spence Jr., has solidified his place as one of the greatest fighters of this age. Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez, the face of boxing, has constantly taken on the toughest challenges throughout his illustrious career, earning his legacy as a four-division world champion. A fight with Crawford wouldn't just be a clash of styles, but also a battle for power in the sport. Turki Al-Sheikh has played a pivotal role in bringing major fights to life, especially with Saudi Arabia's growing influence in global sports. Under his leadership, Saudi Arabia has hosted marquee boxing events, and his presence in these talks adds significant weight to the chance of this matchup becoming a reality. One major element to finalize is the fight's weight class. Canelo is currently the undisputed champion at 168 lbs, while Crawford, who recently became the undisputed welterweight king at 147 lbs, would need to make a big move up to challenge Alvarez. The bout would likely happen at super middleweight, where Canelo holds all the belts, adding even more historical importance to this potential.
Has the Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right business come across the table, it'll happen. I just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8", you know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, so that fight would be good.
Canelo's choice to face Crawford in September is a clever one, as he'll be taking on his opponent after a long stretch of inactivity. Crawford, who hails from Nebraska, hasn't been in the ring since his narrow win over WBA junior middleweight champ Israel Madov on August 3rd. He's likely to avoid any risky fights before his September clash with Canelo, with Crawford turning 38. On September 28th, Canelo seems to be banking on time being his friend. Delaying the fight from May to September adds a bit more wear and tear to Crawford, whose advanced age could start to show. For someone approaching 40, even a few extra months can make a big difference, though Crawford likely sees it as just another challenge to conquer. Boxing journalist Julianis notes that both fighters are likely to take interim bouts, though Crawford might skip his. His performance against Madrimov was underwhelming. Against a mid-level 154-pound contender, Crawford faced notable difficulties due to his opponent's size, youth, and power. Madov landed several clean, hard shots on Crawford throughout the fight. To better prepare for Canelo, it might be smart for Crawford to try himself at 168 lbs and get used to the division. However, that brings significant risks. At 37, Crawford has been relatively quiet since 2020, fighting only once a year. His most famous recent opponent was Madov, in a fight he nearly lost. Meanwhile, Canelo is gearing up to face IBF super middleweight King William Skull in May during the Cinco de Mayo weekend. A win would make Canelo a two-time undisputed champion at 168 lbs, a big milestone in his career. For Crawford to have a real shot against Canelo, he'll need to bulk up. In his fight with Madov, he looked noticeably smaller and less dynamic than he did during his prime performances at 147 lbs against fighters like Errol Spence, Sean Porter, and Kell Brook. Time has caught up with him, and his habit of fighting only once a year isn't helping. Despite the challenges, Crawford and boxing fans alike have been waiting for this monumental fight, and now it finally seems within reach.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like, yes, man type stuff.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madrimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stone. It's about now.
When asked about a possible fight with Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez said there's always a chance and that he's open to it. The Mexican legend had a stellar 2024, further solidifying his amazing career. Attending the 2024 Ring Magazine Awards, Canelo mused on his bounce back from a 2022 loss to Dmitry Bivol. In outstanding form, he kept a successful winning streak throughout 2024. Canelo defended his super middleweight titles with wins over Jaime Munguia and Edgar Berlanga, and is determined to keep that momentum going into the new year. Facing Crawford, one of the best boxers in the sport, would be a big step in doing so, and Canelo has stated that he's ready to take on the challenge. Crawford, meanwhile, has been chasing this fight ever since his dominant win over Errol Spence at middleweight in 2023. To face Canelo, the Nebraska native, currently weighing 154 lbs, will have to jump up 2 weight classes, a move he's eager to make for this dream fight. Canelo kept fans on edge, teasing that no chance is off the table. He hinted that a fight with Crawford remains a possibility, based on how things play out. In another interview, he emphasized that the door is always open, stating that they aim to secure the best deals while keeping...
Important for you, is it that you've spoke to Turkey Al-Sheikh, and what did you speak about?
Look, I like to work with everybody. You know, I'm a free agent and I like to work with everybody. And you know, I like to have the doors open.
Are we going to see Canelo Crawford next?
We'll see.
2 days ago, Rick Glazer, citing details from a trusted insider, suggested that the chances of a Crawford-Alvarez fight are getting stronger. Despite Terence Crawford's ongoing difficulties, a clash with Canelo Alvarez remains one of the top 5 matchups His Excellency Turki Alik is eager to make happen this year. Alik is also keen on a rematch between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, the all-British face-off between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, and the much-anticipated Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua clash. Among these exciting prospects, the possible rematch between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia is high on Alik's list. However, his main focus is on arranging the blockbuster fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, which he hopes will take place this year. With Alik's innovative vision and proven track record, fans are hoping this dream matchup will finally become a reality. Canelo Alvarez has already hinted at the possibility of facing Crawford, saying he's always looking for the best deals. Turki Alik is pushing for the Alvarez-Crawford showdown to happen in 2025, recognizing it as one of the most important fights in North America this year. However, it remains uncertain whether the deal can be completed. At 37, Crawford has stayed quiet about his plans if the fight doesn't happen. His age, combined with the challenges of fighting at 154 lbs against larger, younger, and stronger opponents, suggests his reign may eventually face an inevitable end. In fact, Crawford barely avoided defeat in his 154 lb debut against WBA junior middleweight champion Israel Madrimov on August 3rd last year. As an undisputed former world champion, Crawford stays eager to challenge Canelo Alvarez for his unified super middleweight titles in 2025. Despite the size difference, Crawford is sure that his skill and strength will give him the edge over the Mexican star. He thinks his abilities can overcome any physical disadvantages. Meanwhile, Canelo seems to be losing some of the speed he once had. In recent bouts against Edgar Berlanga and Jaime Munguia, opponents he might have stopped earlier,
Have you spoke with Turkey about that show?
Yeah,
about Canelo?
we know each other. We don't talk that much for make a deal and anything, but you know, we now know each other, and we'll see what happens.
Last one, I know you're pushed for time. Benavidez Morel, who wins?
It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good fight. 50-50 fight.
Canelo, thank you for that.
At first, Canelo dismissed the idea of fighting Terence Crawford, arguing that beating a naturally smaller opponent wouldn't bring him the recognition he earned. But now, he seems more open to the idea of facing the pound-for-pound king. During an appearance on Sway's Universe, Canelo shared that he's ready to fight the full-weight champion if the financial terms are right. Still, he sent a subtle warning to Crawford, calling the possible fight easy money for him. "I'm in. Why not?" Canelo said. "Don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. Easy money. If the money's right, I'm in. I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he moves a lot and the fight isn't that interesting. But I saw his last fight, and he doesn't move that much now. So if the money's right, I'm in." Right now, there are weight classes for a reason. Speculation about a Canelo-Crawford showdown has been heating up online, with whispers of an official release just around the corner. Adding fuel to the fire, Crawford dropped a mysterious message, writing, "Remember what you said about me." Fans are buzzing, speculating whether his words were meant at Canelo's earlier comments about their size difference, or at critics doubting Crawford's ability to challenge the unified super middleweight champion. The Omaha-born Crawford, a four-division world champion, faces a difficult 14-pound weight gap against Canelo, who reigns at 168 lbs. This worry isn't new. Fighters like David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade have also pointed out the challenges of such a jump. Despite this, Crawford seems determined to make the fight happen, even sharing a snapshot of himself in London, where Canelo and His Excellency Turki Alik were allegedly meeting. Fans erupted in excitement at the chance of this fight, overwhelmingly backing Crawford despite the weight difference. Many believe Crawford is the more skilled fighter, while others feel the size gap is simply too much to overcome. During an open workout in London, Devin Haney stated his support, saying, "I can't go against Crawford. I fuck with Crawford. I like him in and out of the ring. I think he's the best right now, and I'm going with Crawford." If the fight doesn't happen or is delayed, both fighters have other possible matchups. Canelo might defend his super middleweight titles against William Skull, while Crawford could aim to unify the super welterweight class or take on top contenders like Sebastian Fundora or Virgil Ortiz Jr. Meanwhile, Dmitry Bivol, one of only two fighters to defeat Canelo alongside Floyd Mayweather Jr., shared his thoughts on the possible fight. Bivol, who outboxed Canelo in 2022 at light heavyweight, told Fight Hub TV that weight classes should be honored. "I remember one of my first lessons in boxing was to respect weight classes," Bivol said. "But Terence is one of my favorite active fighters. He has great skills, very good skills. Maybe he can show us something new. His coach knows what